Merry Christmas. We'll start by calling the roll. Mr. Innocenzi. Mr. Bates.
Here.
Mr. Preston.
Here.
Mr. Ivey.
Here.
First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda and addendum items. Before you do that, we want to let you know that we will be arranging some of the agenda items in the order listed simply to accommodate the potential of going into executive session. But, all agenda items are those that we plan to act on. So call for motion.
So moved. Support.
Thank you. Mr. Bates.
Yes.
Mr. Preston.
Yes.
Mr. Ivey.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is to approve or amend the meeting minutes from November 15, 2021.
So moved. Support.
Thank you. Any questions on the minutes? Not, we'll call the vote. Mr. Bates.
Yes.
Mr. Preston.
Yes.
Mr. Ivey.
Yes.
Next up is a presentation of the financial statement for finance and our new fiscal officer, Jen Pei. And I'm going to turn over to Jen to have her describe the new format of the financial statement.
Good morning. Just briefly, the financial statement that you've been traditionally provided has been updated into a new format. And traditionally, the district has been given just monthly financial totals. And what's going to now be included is the past 2-year actuals, the current year budget, which is obviously this year's 2021, year-to-date totals, and then just a benchmark percentage. And just to keep in mind with benchmark percentage, this number is just that, to give you an idea of where you should be. No revenues, no expenditures come in equally every month. So just keep in mind when looking at those numbers. And then beginning next year, financial statements will have a little more detail even from this, and we'll start having departmental expenditure data, which reflects what's in the appropriation, the budget documents that are presented to you today. Thank you.
Any questions on the financial statement for the month of November? Not, will be entered into the record. Next agenda item, presentation of vouchers. We'll go ahead and entertain a motion to approve all vouchers except those from Preston and Arms.
So second.
Any questions on the vouchers? Hearing none, call the vote. Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Mr. Ivey?
Yes.
Mr. Bates?
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the vouchers for Preston.
Support.
Thank you. Call the vote. Mr. Bates?
Yes.
Mr. Ivey?
Yes.
Mr. Preston?
Abstain.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the vouchers for Arms.
So moved. Support.
Thank you. Questions on those? Call the vote. Mr. Ivey?
Yes.
Mr. Preston?
Yes.
And Mr. Bates?
Abstain.
Thank you. Thank you for approving those bills paid. Move along to new business. First up, planning and operations updates on 2021 capital projects. Any questions for Matt McHugh? Wrapping up the year.
Yeah, I looked at Legacy Woods for veterans. Is it Legacy Veterans? Or,
Veterans Legacy Woods, yes.
that's going to be a spectacular property. I don't know, do we have money set aside to redo the interior? I think you could have lots of weddings there, lots of different types of activities. But the inside looks like it could be freshened up.
So currently, right now, we're finishing up phase 1. Phase 2, we have planned, we were doing some work on the trails kind of down in the main park. And then we also have some restoration projects we're working on. For the interior of the building, we don't have anything specifically at this time, but that's something we could look into and
The
evaluate.
inside needs updated. It could be a really nice venue for your weddings, company picnics, doing stuff for veterans. I think
Yeah, no, we can look at, we're doing some work to the windows and the doors, but yeah, we can definitely look at the interiors and look at updates and integration.
Thank you for that. One of the things I've talked to Matt and Jen about is next year, having any new commissioners, we would like to, during the regular meetings, have planning sessions. We plan on doing that in January to get the board's input on what they would like to see from the fiscal department, what types of reports. So do some planning sessions, and then as far as future capital improvement projects, we definitely would like to get your input and do a small planning session sometime in the first quarter of 2021. So we can dedicate our attention and funds to those types of projects. So looking forward to working with you. All right. Any other questions? Capital projects? Things look good. Thank you, Matt. Thank you to you and Daniel and your staff and our design teams. All right, moving on. Next agenda item is the 2022 capital improvements. Memo from Matt McHugh. Attached you will find current project plans for the replacement of the Westwoods Nature Center roof, the proposed pollinator play garden at Prairie Meadows. In order to maintain the schedule for the construction of these improvements in 2022, board approval is requested to bid the following capital improvements for the approved budgeted amounts. The Westwoods Nature Center roof replacement in the amount of $625,000. Prairie Meadows pollinator play areas in the amount of $130,000. We expect funding from the Foundation for Jog Parks for that project. And finally, the Walter C. Best asphalt improvements in the amount of $110,000. So I entertain a motion to give our planning department permission to bid those projects.
So moved.
Second.
Questions for Matt or I on those projects? If not, we will call the vote. Mr. Eibel?
Yes.
Mr. Bates? Yes. Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Next up is the 2022 aggregate stone material bids. Another memo from Matt. With planned annual trail maintenance improvements for Bessie Benner Park and the Westwoods Trails in 2022, it is anticipated the Park District will exceed our $50,000 in expenditures for aggregate stone materials in 2022. Approval is requested to bid the annual aggregate stone materials for 2022. I will entertain a motion to bid our aggregate.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. Any questions? As you know, everything over $50,000, we bring it to you for your approval. With that, we'll call the vote. Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Mr. Eibel?
Yes.
Mr. Bates?
Abstain.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the conveyance of mineral interest deeds for Veterans Legacy Woods. Commissioners, please find attached the conveyance of mineral interest deed for Veterans Legacy Woods. The topic was discussed at our November board meeting. The conveyance is necessary in order to satisfy requirements for an Ohio EPA grant for stream restoration at Veterans Legacy Woods. Attorney Dale Markowitz with Rasher Dinsmore Nolan assisted Todd Hicks and myself with preparing the necessary documents to convey mineral rights to Jog Park District. In exchange for the rights, we have agreed to compensate the current owners of the mineral rights $3,000. Mr. Earl Shuffleberger and Mr. Bill, can't say his last name, I'll go with Tobe, will each receive $1,500. The payment will be issued from Jog Park District to Thrasher Dinsmore Nolan. TDD will issue the payment on our behalf. Jog Park District, through collaboration with Sugarman River Watershed Partners, submitted the Ohio EPA grant application for this project. The district has requested $1,104,662 for this program. We currently rank first amongst 2022, 2023 applicants in the restoration category. And I believe that's first in